afternoon, traders. Welcome to this week's Trade Zone weekly wrap. It will be the last one until the new year, and we'll be having a little bit of time off. There will be some special reports coming through into January. Obviously, that last week before January 1st, and normally the first week of January, look, it can be pretty illiquid. But that doesn't mean there's still we don't see any moves. But yeah, volatility can be right down as well. So we will have some special reports coming out, but into the new year. But yeah, this will sort of be it for the week ahead and the outlooks until 2024. So this week has had look, it's nothing. It hasn't really been anything like the last 2 weeks, but we have had some little bit of fireworks here and there as well. It has been a little bit choppy on some markets, but if you're an intraday trader or intraday trading, there has been some opportunities this week for sure. And we're looking at the dollar at the moment, so we can see this reaction last night from the dollar. It's against the final GDP, so that came in lower than expected. So with the economy cooling, rates are obviously doing their job, so that obviously then starts to set up the speculation that we could even see more of a policy change from the Fed into 2024 and 2025. And what does that mean for the dollar? If rate cuts do come into the equation, does that mean we're going to see the dollar fall? Continue to fall? And then obviously attention as well. We'll look to the stock market. So it's interesting this time around, even though we've had higher interest rates and a more restrictive policy, it hasn't really stopped equity markets at all, really. So normally when rates are going up, you think that equity markets are going down, but not always, obviously. But we have seen that relationship. That relationship hasn't really been that way since this time round. And even if we do zoom out a bit, we can just see we had that initial fall, but it has been really a very nice uptrend, really all the way from October. And obviously, probably that was when the expectations really started to shift in terms of Fed policy. I'd say that's when it really did start to begin, and we can see these continued rallies after things do continue to change in terms of how the market is seeing that. So, and the same when we have a look at the dollar. We can see that nice rally there and then that turn in August, and we've seen the dollar continue to move down. So it's interesting with the dollar to think where we could end up if we do continue to see a real change in policy, and could we see the US dollar get back down to well below that 100 and down the low end of the 99s. We'll just have to see how things go. So with the dollar, yesterday it did set new lows, and we can see the dollar index here trading at new lows for the month. And we did see risk currencies trading higher to tap out the week. There's a little bit of news this week that has had a little bit of impact. So obviously we just touched on the final GDP that came out. Unemployment claims also came in better than expected on early this morning. And earlier in the week we had policy meetings come out from the RBA. We had the Bank of Japan, which was probably the biggest of the week, and we will get onto that one in a moment. Actually, we'll just do that now. So there were some quite interesting moves in the yen this week. So obviously we saw some very strong moves against the yen, and that was much earlier in the week. We can see those moves here. It was quickly turned around though. So after the announcement, the moves didn't really get going till late in the session. We saw some comments come out from the Bank of Japan around what they meant in their policy meeting, and we did see some really nice moves, especially from the Aussie and the pound and the dollar. We can see how nice that move was from the Aussie against the yen. It was really another move that got right back up close to the 2% point. The pound was another that really had a beautiful single day session, and we're watching that. It did stop at resistance though, and we've seen that new move down. It remains really range bound, so this is the key support we're looking at the moment. It's 180.09, and it was, I suppose, a bit of a false breakout in many forms. If you were looking to take advantage of a more prolonged move against the yen, that didn't really materialize, and we did see a bit of a fight back into the last the previous day and in yesterday's session. So we'll see if buyers can continue to hold out and hold at this support at 180.1415 area, and similar story with the euro and the Aussie. We can see more of a range-based pattern here. Euro remains mid-range, and the Aussie, which is sort of the strongest position out of them all, it does have a nice looking breakout. We would need to see now this higher low confirm and a new move to break that previous high, just to tell us that there is a new continuation forming. We're still looking at this from an uptrend point of view, obviously, with this uptrend here. And just finally with the dollar, so the dollar, obviously risk markets have been having a little bit better. The dollar has not been that firm, so we did see that single day, but it was cut down and faded, and then we saw that 2 days of selling. Like with the pound, we do see price testing and sitting around some key support as at 141.82, and we want to see if that can hold for buyers. If it doesn't, we'll look for this downtrend to continue. We want to see a break of this level, though. There's been a lot of defense of this level by buyers. We need to see a good move by sellers to set that off. If we do see some yen strength, or even just the dollar continue to weaken tonight and into Saturday, early Saturday morning before the weekends, we'll look to see if sellers can break through that point there. So that will really be just based off a continuation of momentum that's really got going now with the dollar after that GDP figure. So Canadian CPI came out a little warmer than expected. So we had 3.5 on the trimmed and 3.4 on the median, and we had 0.1 on the month-on-month CPI. We had a small drop on the common, and that's a medium impact. So also we had UK CPI, which came in at 3.9%, and that was an interesting one. So it missed expectations, and we did see the pound react to that. So that's that bar just here, and we saw that move get going, but it really didn't amount to really anything, as the dollar did lose its mojo yesterday, and we did see the pound just fight back, just remaining in this range. So supports at 1.2631 and resistance up at 27.64. Now some of the other markets, so Oil continues to push. We've been watching this. It broke out of this mini range here, had to move up. We've got a new high low here, and we just want to see if it can get above this level here and close above it. It's a 74.30, 74.50. It has done some good things at this stage, but we do want to see a bit more of a move and close above this area, just to sort of show that buyers are really in control. There's been a fair bit of rejection going back to this point here, and then if we can see that move really get going, that could be the start of a new uptrend, and we'll continue to watch that. I know there's been a lot of talk about demand and peak oil, peak demand coming in maybe in 2030, but we'll see some of the other influences on the short term, and if they can govern some further pricing, brain block, higher prices over the short to medium term. So, but for that really to happen, we need to see some more confirmation from buyers to really show that they are firmly in control. Now, the Russell led the gains overnight, so stocks have had an interesting week, and we'll start with the US 30. We had a really big session down earlier in the week, and we'll just update that. And with a fight back yesterday after the GDP, I think that was really just interest rate driven. I think at the moment stocks remain still pretty high. That was an interesting bound of profit taking, I should say. And I think this next step is going to be interesting to see if we can hold or what happens next. It wouldn't surprise me if we do see another bit of a pullback. I think it's totally expected and should be really penciled in. When you look at how this trend has been running, it's been, I won't say crypto-like in terms of parabolic in a straight line up, but it's a very nice looking trend at the moment, and it definitely shouldn't be a surprise to anyone if we did see a pullback at this stage. I'm not saying this is going to be a pullback. Obviously, everything said here is general advice, but when you do look at this trend, if you did see a bit of a pullback, it shouldn't surprise you. It could even consolidate a bit after as well if we do see a move down. So expect maybe to see that if we do see a bit of quiet trading over Christmas and New Year's, we do see a bit of a consolidation on the daily chart. The NDX 100 has been, I have to recheck it, but it was the best performing stock index out of the Dow, the S&P, and the Nasdaq. So in terms of measuring those ones, we did see the NDX did perform the best this year so far. I think the Dow was third and the S&P was second, but don't quote me on that. But yeah, it's not too surprising that, with some of the interest that we have been seeing in tech stocks over this year. And this week you can see the S&P and the NDX. While we did have that move down on Monday, the S&P is they've both been very firm and lovely trend structure with nice breakouts, nice higher lows, and very nice looking pictures here. So we'll just see if we do continue to see some rangings build up, or if we do see a bit more of a deeper pullback. and then we'll see if we get a new higher low and continuation higher into the new year. Now, gold and silver are trading higher today as platinum and palladium, and we can see here a little bit of a range creeping into it, so a little bit of indecision with a few things this week. So we can see it has been forcing itself upwards, but we can see here a fair bit of a fade going on at this point in time. We'd like to see if gold can get back up to and close, and test this level, or really just we want to see a nice strong close above 2050. To be honest with you, we did have this nice bar yesterday. That's a good sign, but I think now we've really got to get back up into this area and just find a little bit of strength and support. And silver, we have a much cleaner trend in gold. We've got that nice breakout of this level here. I think we're now just the same with gold. With silver, we just want to see a nice continuation to push higher, higher lows and higher highs, and then we'll see what happens first when we get up to sort of the 25.13 area, and then back into the 25.48 area. Obviously, the end goal will be up to that 26 area to see what happens again up there. But at the moment, we have nice structure. Higher, higher low, higher low. So we want to see if we can continue to see that nice trend structure move up. Without dragging this on too much out, I want to have a quick look at the ASX 200. It had a bit of a rough patch moving back a few months. Even, if we just have a look on the weekly chart, sorry, that doesn't really show my point at all. It just looks like a beautiful trend. But yeah, we can see it was a little bit cluttered. It didn't know really what it was doing with itself in this area. There was a lot of resistance at 71.41. But once we got through that area, even here, we're up into the 72s again. You can see how nice we've just had this beautiful run up, and it's even tested that 75.78. So it's been a lovely 2 weeks for the ASX. And I think, the next real point of testing for buyers, if they can get back up there, there's a little bit of a slowdown at the moment here, will be this area really from 76.05 or 76 even is a big number, all the way up to that 76.16 area. So if we do see one final throw up, we'll just have to see what happens if we get to that point. But yeah, again, it's it has moved very further away off the moving average, so we'll just see if we do see a pullback. It wouldn't surprise me either if we have a pullback or a consolidation at these higher levels. So the ASX definitely has been a nice one to see over the last couple of weeks in terms of movement. It's been having a solid run. Now, just to finish up, crypto. So this week there's been some stars. Obviously, most coins have been running pretty well. Bitcoin is back above 44 today. Ethereum as well. Not as pretty as Bitcoin, but it's had a nice session this week. It still remains a little bit pegged in though at 22.49. So 22.50 would like to see a close above that area. ADA, which has been a darling recently, has been up and retested some highs. We've seen 2 beautiful days of buying this week as well. But in terms of really the stars of the show, it definitely comes down to Dot yesterday had an amazing session, and you can just see that rally yesterday. We were watching that as it was plus 10%, and then all of a sudden it was just plus 20%, and we're just thinking, wow, that's pretty nice move and pretty fast, just to double the daily return there. And Ava continues to star. We've seen a move back up, to test scheme very close to that 49 point. You can just see this rally at the moment is just off and running. And Solana as well has got back into the fray, and we can see it just continues to charge. We have had we have had a test of 99, so we're really wondering if we do touch $100 again before the year's out. I think that's just a nice big round number just to see if it can hit it. I'm not going to call anything or talk really much about it. You can see it for yourself. The momentum in some of the coins at the moment is just ridiculous. It's too hard to call crypto. They love to move parabolic. It's just part of how they operate. And when the fever's on, they just run. And yeah, they will pull back when they pull back, and they will continue to keep going as they continue to keep going. It's I think it's a very dangerous game trying to pick a top in cryptos, especially when they're in fever pitch mode and you're seeing those double-digit returns, daily. You just got to really just wait it out, and just throw a dart and just when you can jump in. That's basically very difficult to try and really call any time of accurate timing when they're really running, especially to the upside. So because they just love to keep going and continue just to push and push and push. So yeah, it's not easy at all. So with that's really today's update in a nutshell. Thank you very much if you've checked it out, and thank you very much for all our viewers this year. We appreciate your support and appreciate your time that you give to us to watch the updates. I hope you get something out of it, and if there's any improvements or things you want for us to discuss more about, please feel free to drop us a comment. If you feel the videos are too long or they could be longer, let me know. But yeah, wish everyone a fantastic and safe holiday season for the rest of the year, and have a very happy new year into 2024. Good trading to you all, and yeah, enjoy your time off if you're taking time off, and yeah, be safe and enjoy the time with your family. So thank you again, and bye for now.